I'm Sara, and this is Travis. We've moved 7 times in the last 6 years and are currently renovating our 3rd house with our 3 boys and our Old English sheepdog. Follow along as we renovate our house and raise our boys.
Hi, Chucky. No toes. Ah!
That's him.
Ah!
Subscribe and join us on our next adventure. Hey guys, it happened again. Our house almost burned down, sort of.
Not quite that scary, but we did get evacuated because of a fire.
And it technically
there was a little risk.
So we got woken up again around what was it, 2:30? With someone ringing our doorbell and pounding on the door. So we both wake up and I'm like, is someone at our house? And Travis is like, yeah, there's someone at our house. And we didn't recognize our neighbor through the camera. So we're trying to get dressed, trying to get all together and run out there, and then Travis realizes through the camera that he can see a fire.
Well, if you've ever been woken up at 2:30 in the morning, I was pretty bleary. I'm trying to get a little bit of, how should I say this? A little bit of security.
Oh, okay.
Because someone was banging on our door, and I'm fumbling with the keys and stuff to get that security, and finally I do, and when I go to the door, it's apparent. There's just a red glowing ember, just like last time. So I open the door, I say, there's a fire, thank you so much, and we start running around panicking, getting our kids out. Now what's interesting to me is that the first time this happened to us, we were so panicked. I could not even think straight. I was trying to call a neighbor. I couldn't even find the number in my phone. I was so just crazy.
Yeah, and
just bumbly.
We didn't grab a single thing. We had the kids grab their favorite blankets and their shoes, and that was it. I didn't even realize last time, but I had put on Travis's pants, and a sweatshirt, and it was August, and so 2 hours later, I'm like, why do my pants keep falling down? And I realized that I was wearing your pants because we were so crazy. But this time we were much more with it. We grabbed our important documents. I grabbed some medicine that Lincoln had. We grabbed a phone charger, stuff like that. And so I feel the second run through we did a lot better. Still not great, but we did a lot better.
It is an interesting question that you can ask yourselves. What would you grab in an emergency? Mm-hmm. Anyway, this time we were much more clear-headed. Mm-hmm. Much more clear-headed. I didn't even feel a panic. In fact, the very first thing I did after making sure that she was getting kids was I turned on my front sprinklers because the fire was across the street from us. So any embers that came over would get put out with our sprinklers. So, last time the kids are screaming and crying and we're panicking.
Lincoln was losing his mind this time.
Just while he was waking up, right?
Yeah, just while he was waking up.
So tell that.
I went down to wake up the kids and we flip on the lights. I'm like, guys, come on. And they're like, why? What's going on? I'm like, well, there's a fire. And Lincoln just starts wailing. He's on the top bunk in their bunk bed and he just starts screaming. And he's sitting there in his underwear. And I'm like, Lincoln, you gotta get dressed. We gotta go. And he cannot wake up enough to do anything. And I'm pregnant, obviously. I can't lift him off the bunk. So I'm grabbing him clothes, throwing him up there, get dressed. What blanket do you want to bring? Grab this. And finally he woke up enough and was able to climb down, but it took a couple minutes to get him to move. But everyone else was pretty calm and just grabbed their blankets and their stuffed animals and then went out to the car. So.
By the time we made it to the car, everyone's calm, a little bit scared, probably a lot scared, but holding it together. Once they were all safe, I just went to the street above ours that was in danger of this fire and just started knocking on the doors with police officers.
And also one thing that was kind of cool with this fire was it was a pretty big miracle because it just started at 2 a.m. and our neighbor's daughter was either awake or had just come home, I'm not sure, but she just happened to see it and then called 911 and then her and her dad ran and woke up the neighbors down from us, woke us up, and the firefighters got control of this fire so fast.
And this is really dry, 3 foot
grass.
Tall yellow grass and quite a bit of overgrown trees in this area. and it's all gone where the fire was. Now the kicker to this whole fire is that this was arson. So while officers are here, I'm asking them, do I need to wake up neighbors? Is this how big is this fire? You can't really tell when you're right in front of it, and it looks ginormous. And he said, we're fighting 3 fires right now, you better go wake them up. Not only in our city, but in 2 other nearby cities have fires been started. And also, 3 houses down from us, someone lit their grass on fire. And their grass was dead and yellow, and it burned all the way up to their front door.
They could have been bad,
Yeah.
I think.
And our neighbor next to us, he was quick and got a hose and stuff and put that out fast. As scary and dangerous as it could have been, we were pretty safe the whole time with the quick response of those firefighters.
So I was just thinking the other day, since we've moved in this house, which we haven't been here quite 4 years, we've had now 2 wildfires. Everybody had a pandemic, obviously. We've had an earthquake, we had a windstorm that took out everybody's power around here, and our house is flooded. So we've had pretty much all the...
When did our house flood?
Max's room.
Oh yeah, we had a big rainstorm that flooded is a strong word, but
It flooded that room.
But it didn't flood the room. It just
That's flooding when it gets your carpet soaked.
It just barely got one corner of the room soaked.
Not a corner. Are you crazy? I was the one cleaning that up. That was not
You
a
cleaning
corner.
it up. I was cleaning it
I
up.
was doing the carpet vacuum down there.
I did that.
And you left to help the neighbors, and I was down there vacuuming.
Yeah, I did do it after the fact because it was still stinky, I guess.
Yeah.
But
That water was pouring
Taking the credit.
in and pouring. It was a flood.
then through a window well.
It's crazy.
Actually, we got pretty lucky in that, and we did have a little flood in one of the rooms. But we had neighbors that had their whole basements flooded. That it was a strong rainstorm, that's for sure.
This has been an exciting place to live, though. We've had a lot happen. Okay, guys. So tell me about the fire. What do you remember?
So, it lit on trees and it did sparkles. And we went to grandma's. And the police officers went up and down.
You saw the police officers going up and down the street.
I saw the blinds closed and I peeked out and there was a fire. And so I sneaked into grandma's.
Yeah, we did sneak into grandma's and slept on her couch.
So, and they got picked up, and they did not know why they woke me up and was like, there's a fire. I did not know why I started crying.
You were crying pretty hard.
And I tried to grab their bowl of my stuffies, but then Dad said, take one.
You ended up grabbing like 6 of your stuffed animals, though, didn't you? Yeah.
And Lincoln was sitting up there and going,
He was sitting up there crying, huh?
there was a fire, and when Dad came in running in, I grabbed my stuffies and I took off upstairs and I'm like, let's get in the car and just go right now. Because I don't know, but, and then when we got to Grandma's, we snuck inside because they were still sleeping. And then in the morning, Grandma came to do the laundry or something. And she saw blankets on the couch and she saw us. And she was like, did I invite kids over and I don't remember? And then she came upstairs and saw my mom and Winston. And then my mom told her about the fire.
So the fire was a couple days ago, but what happened last night?
Dad came running into our room yelling, there's a fire! And he scared the heck out of me. And I'm like, my mind's blowing up, boom. I'm like this. Get a heart attack.
Well, it was an hour past bedtime, but I could still hear you guys. So I went down there and said there was a fire. And Sawyer grabbed his heart and said, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" And Lincoln, he was maybe close to sleep, but he flipped over, looked so scared, ready to jump off his bunk bed.
Here's some footage from the last fire, and I'll link that video at the end of this video so you can watch it.
All of this is BLM land. It's just full of trees and dead grass. It's probably about 1:30 right now. We just woke up to the BLM land across the street on fire.
And Dad told me not to tell you this, but one of the baby horses got caught in the fire.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
It did not.
Yes, it did. One of the horses did get caught in the fire.
And died?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. 2 of them did.
No, they didn't.
3 of them did.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Or the week after.
What?
Depending on how much energy I have, because I've been so bad with videos lately.
We should do a quick update real quick about you being pregnant.
Oh, okay, sure. I have been having a really hard time with this pregnancy, and so I don't have a ton of energy to do a lot of videos. I'm kind of in the middle of doing some testing right now to make sure everything's working okay or whatever. Because when I stand up, my heart rate jumps up really high and my blood pressure drops, and so I can only stand for a few minutes at a time before I get too lightheaded and too dizzy and I have to sit back down. So it's been hard to just even do like day-to-day
Taking care of 3 boys in a house.
Yeah. It's been hard to do anything. So I'm having a few tests done like on my heart and on my lungs in a couple weeks to make sure everything's looking okay, but we're guessing that it's probably just the baby is crushing a vein or something and making it so I'm not getting enough circulation. But anyway, so I'm doing my best on the videos, and hopefully I'll be able to keep doing 1 a week, or at least 1 every other week. But you can turn on the notifications so that when we do post them, you don't miss them.
Yeah, Sarah's, I feel like, not giving this justice. It's pretty severe that she's pretty limited in what she can do. And the doctors think that this could be very minor, could be very serious, and we're doing tests to prove that. Our feeling is that this is probably just pregnancy related and it'll go away after pregnancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has made doing all this for you guys and doing our normal life a little bit difficult.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like it's getting easier as we're going. It seems like it's getting harder. So hopefully once I have the baby and everything, it'll be better.
As a side note, we had our baby measured in this last...
Just yesterday.
What do you call it?
Ultrasound.
In this last ultrasound. And so Sarah's 29 weeks and the baby's 4 pounds and rated in the 99th percentile. They said that the baby's a pound bigger than it should be, which I guess is a symptom of diabetes. And
which is kind of a joke because Travis always tells me he thinks I have diabetes because I eat a lot of treats, I guess.
candy machine right here.
Okay.
But
I don't.
She doesn't have diabetes, but they don't know what she has.
Yeah.
And the baby's just fine and healthy. But we got a ginormous baby.
Yeah. So I'm hoping maybe she'll come early. We'll see. Anyway, so thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll see you next week.